Hey everybody, it's Justin, your guide into the other side. Just kind of wanted to bring a quick video to you related to Otherside Wiki. Um, so, most people are looking to probably get a couple of lands here or, just even starting your first land. And I think a main point of contention is how your land looks. So, on Otherside Wiki, you can find the metaverse, you can click the environment's lands, and I really feel like people are just going to choose based on what they like to look at, what looks pleasing aesthetically. So first, you can come here. You can see each kind of environment. There's 4 biomes per environment, with the exception of chaos lands. So there's technically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 kinds. There's decay, harsh, spirit, volcanic, mineral, and growth, and psychedelic. So there's 4 per, and you can see, hey, there's Bog, for example. This one has 6,775 in existence. And then as you move right, you can see that the rarity increases. So over here we have Plague Lands at 2,853. But again, even though they may be more rare, they have better resources, or, each land has 2 exclusive resources with the exception of chaos lands. Maybe I'm wrong here. If you can click on Thornwood, you can kind of see the exclusive resources that are only accessible on this particular environment biome. So for Thornwood, you can see, hey, there's only Duskia and Nocturna are exclusive to this biome, this environment biome. Additionally, you can also find on this little chart here, you can see, hey, there's sediment tiers 1, 2, and 3. There's also tier 1, 2, 3, T1 through 5. You can find the number of lands that are in each tier and sediment tier. So let's say if you wanted to find tier 1, sediment tier 1 environment, there's about 796 of them. And then, so on and so forth. They become increasingly more rare as you become bigger and better. So you can also see prices here as well, this useful chart. And then you can also click on the resource as well. If you want to take a look at the resource, you can see the stage of the resource as you can see the tier resource and the category of resources. So this is Duskia. It's the anima category. There's 589 resources on 553 different other deeds. So you can see the rarity of them as well. And you can kind of see a graph of the pricing, per this particular resource. So again, we'll go back and we'll take a look at all of these, but I won't go over every single one. Personally, I think since this is just kind of like the beginning of the game, people are going to really choose based off aesthetic. So if someone forced me to choose one from each environment tier, barring rarity, just picking on aesthetic alone, my personal opinion per category would be for decays. For the decay environment, the biome that I really like the most is actually Bog. Despite it being the most common, I do like the look of it. It's very treehousey. It's just very iconic. I would just take it aesthetically over any of the other ones. And I just think hey, it's the swamp. You got a treehouse. I mean, what's not to like? if I had to choose a second, it would probably either be Thornwood or Plague. So in terms of aesthetic, I think I like the spiky, edgy look of Thornwood more than the Plague, so probably Thornwood. As for the Harshland, I'm definitely gonna have to choose Bone. This one aesthetically is just so Lion King. You'd be insane not to, gravitate towards that. But a close second is probably Glacia, just because of how, icy and frosty it is. But they all look really nice in my opinion. But number 1 would be Bone. For the spirit environment, the biome that I aesthetically like the most is, bar none, the Sands. Like, this is just so nautical. This is just so piratey. I'm super attracted to that type of aesthetic. I love the way that each of them looks. Damn, you got like a tier 1 island. It's still an island. That's amazing. Or tier 1 sands. You got like an underwater pine cone called Brine Slime and Coralia, whatever. But all these look amazing. You got like a seashell coral type house. That's so Finding Nemo. I like this one the most aesthetically out of all of the lands thus far. Actually, wait, no, there might be a couple other ones that might be interesting too, but a close second is definitely Sky. I think this was going to look really interesting in game, but I'm really basing this off of its 2D and speculative 3D aesthetics. I think Sands are going to be amazing in game. I think Sky will come a close second, and then the Veldin, which is basically it's basically a Pokemon land. I mean, that's got like Pokemon trainer center vibes to me. So kind of funny. So if we're going volcanic, I mean, yeah, come on, you got to go with the Mount Doom molten biome. This is definitely it. But if I were to choose a close second, it's probably Crimson. I like Obsidian. Okay, Obsidian's very Halloweeny, so I mean, it's definitely molten, but I would probably pick. If I had to do it, I would probably pick Obsidian. But my favorite mineral land aesthetically is Crystal. Okay, I know I'm almost certain Crystal lands are gonna look unbelievable. I'm really excited for Crystal lands, but I like the mineral environment very much as a category. I think aesthetically these are the most interesting. Broadly, after Crystal, I'm gonna have to choose Biolume. I love this, you know, glow in the dark, underwater cavern type aesthetic. Very corally. And then I would probably pick Spire next, and then Luster last. I think Luster is just I'm not too crazy about Luster. I know a lot of people love this type of environment just because of how rare it is and how alien it looks, but I think it's a little bit too monochromatic for me, or if I'm using that correctly, it's a little bit too monocolored for me. But I like the aesthetic. It's very alien, very aesthetic too. So that's just not knocking it. I'm just speaking relative to the other categories, the other biomes inside of this environment category. But moving on, if we get to growth, I personally have a hard time choosing between these because they all just look incredible. I would have to probably just go with Mycelium lands just because mushrooms and aesthetic. But otherwise, these two look pretty similar. But I think I like Botanical the least. Unfortunately, I think its color scheme just kind of puts me off a little bit. It reminds me of I don't know, but I do like the orb and the rose color. It's nice. And then if we move on to psychedelic, I would say my favorite aesthetic is definitely Shadow. I know a lot of people are gonna fucking blow me up because they're like, you don't like the Luster lands, you don't like the acid lands. No, I just think there's so much going on here. I know that appeals to a lot of people. It's not necessarily something that I would appeal to. But I mean, if I had a chance to pick one up, I wouldn't say no, right? But in terms of aesthetics and lore wise, I do like the Shadowlands. I feel like it'll have a greater role to play in the game antagonistically, but maybe that's just my speculation. But Mallow and Sludge don't really appeal to me too much. They're just kind of like these mushy lands. But maybe when we see more of them in the future, I might change my mind. And then lastly, we just kind of have this Chaos Land too, which is just kind of crazy. And I'm sure the majority of people will be unable to purchase this just because of how exclusive it is. There is only 111 of them in existence. But if I were to have my top 5 lands that I would really just to choose aesthetically, my favorite, honestly, outside of just environment tiers, Crystal number one. Then Biolume it's Sands number 2, Biolume number 3. So I have 3. Probably Mushroom level 4, and then Bog as the last land. But I know I'm speaking blasphemy right now because a lot of people love certain biomes over others. So again, to each your own, and whatever you like, definitely pick it up. But again, choose with your heart, and I guess just make of it what you will. But again, hey, it's a great time to look into Otherdeeds and see if it makes sense for you. Of course, nothing is financial advice. A lot of this is just going to be metagaming and min-maxing and playing to the game style that you want to play. Whether that be farming, for specific exclusive resources, or hunting on these lands too. It's up to you. So again, that's what I love. I love all the aesthetics. I honestly love every single land, just some more than others, of course. But hey, feel free to reach out to me in the Otherside Discord, Otherside Wiki Discord. I'll always be there. Thank you for getting this far, and I appreciate everything. Signing out. Thanks.